Welcome to Skopelos, home to stunning coastlines, gorgeous alleys, great food, and the chapel on the rock from Mamma Mia. Skopelos holds the title of the greenest island in the Aegean Sea. Stick around to find out our favourite spots. We travelled from Skiathos via ferry, which took about an hour. There's no airport on this island. The main port is currently undergoing works, so ferries are operating from a port on the other side of the island, meaning we had to get a bus between the port and town.
We have arrived in Skopelos, the home of Mamma Mia. We're just unpacking. We've been to lunch already at a local family's restaurant. The food is off to a great start. I had a Skopelos cheese pie, very tangy, tart cheese, and these gorgeous zucchini balls. They had like a dill flavour to them. Ricky had a moussaka, which was a great portion size, but probably his least favourite moussaka that he's had. Plans after we finish unpacking will be to go and check out the town and wander up to, I think it's the Venetian castle.
We began our journey up the steep steps and winding alleys, admiring beautiful whitewashed buildings such as this 17th century church with its panoramic views. We eventually arrived at the town's highest point, the Venetian castle. The walls that remain are part of a restoration from the 13th century, but the original fortress was built in ancient times. We headed back down to our guest house for some chill time before heading out for dinner.
We have a couple of Greek snacks to try. We asked the man that works at the local supermarket what he liked. The chapitas are oregano flavoured.
They kind of taste like a Walker's or a Smith's.
They're lovely.
We have my favourite, chocolate. I'll let Liana try first because I'm a gentleman.
First time for everything. Cheers. I got the bigger piece.
You go first because I said I'd let you go first.
It's almost just like a Cadbury. It's nice, but it's not like a special.
You can definitely take it or leave it.
We had a drink at the brewery before dinner at Soya, which has a very random combination of Asian and Mexican foods, but our meals were great. Ricky, of course, needed a dessert before we called it a night. This is a bigger island, so we've hired a car to explore it. The hire car company is directly below where we're staying.
Just finished having some breakfast at Swell's Coffee Bar and we're now on our way to explore the island in our hire car.
We started out with one of the most beautiful swimming spots on the island, Amarandos Cove. The roads down to it were unpaved but not too rough. The cove is understandably quite popular due to its vibrant turquoise water. It is a bit tricky to get in and out of the water as it involves climbing over sharp rocks, so it's best to wear covered shoes, although Ricky managed in flip-flops with only one minor injury. On the way there, we'd spotted a rocky area through the trees that it looked easier to get in and out of the water from, so we wandered back for a dip. I have to say, May is great for Greece for avoiding crowds, and the air is warm, but the sea is breathtakingly cold.
Cold?
Nice.
I didn't last long before retreating to the warm rocks to thaw out.
Just on our way to our next beach. We just stopped for lunch at Nico's.
We had a beautiful dip. I think it's called biordi, and it's like a melted feta, tomatoes, onions, all mixed in, and you dip it into
pizza bread.
Yeah, oh,
lovely.
Gorgeous. We asked the lady who worked there what her favourite beaches were, and they are beaches that we had on our list already, so we're going to try them maybe tomorrow.
Next on our list for the day was Perivoliou beach, which ended up being our favourite. There were less than 10 other people there, and as it wasn't quite summer, they hadn't set up any sun lounges or beach bars, which was great. In my opinion, this is how a beach should be. Before getting in, we of course needed to sample another Greek treat. So we're here at, we think it's Perivoliou beach. We have a derby bar to try, hazelnut flavour. It may have melted in the car, but let's try. First bite for you, the chocolate lover.
Nice. That is tasty. I think I prefer that over the Ion plain milk chocolate. Now we're just going to relax, go for a swim and enjoy the crystal clear waters.
This is where we spent the longest time swimming of all the beaches on the island. The water was still cold, but there were some warm patches which made it bearable. Next on our list was the famous Chapel of St. John. The parking area is tiny and was almost full, so it was a great decision to visit later in the day. There's a small beach beneath the cliffs if you'd like to stay a while admiring the views and swimming. There's also a cafe, and for some reason a cosmetic shop near the entrance to the walk up the cliff, which spoilt the view a little.
Mamma mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you?
I spotted a dandelion and made a wish that Ricky would stop singing that song. The history of the chapel is a little creepy. Apparently a man kept seeing a light glowing at the top of the cliff. He eventually climbed up, found a religious icon there and took it home, but it kept reappearing back on the cliff, so the local community built the church there, believing it to be a miracle. Inside the chapel, Ricky lit a candle, praying for a better singing voice, and nearly burnt his arm.
We've just finished up at the Chapel of St. John, which is also known as the Mamma Mia Church. It was a beautiful, stunning location. Not actually too many people. We went at about 5 p.m. It is not that much of a nice church, and up the top was really overgrown with weeds and things, but the cliffs themselves that the church sits on, majestic.
The church itself is nothing special to look at, but it's definitely the scenery that makes it happen. We are here in May, so it may be busier in the summer months.
We had dinner back in town at Dougia, where Ricky tried a traditional pork and plum dish. The island is famous for their plums. I had zucchini balls, which weren't as nice as at Apolafsi, and a rich fried feta.
It's our final day in Skopelos. We've woken up to some rain.
So today we're going to go check out some monasteries, and then hopefully the weather clears up enough to check out some beaches.
We had a beautiful breakfast at Decimo, where they had decent coffee and great food. Their truffle eggs with mozzarella on brioche was to die for. We then headed into the misty mountains above town to explore some monasteries. The first one was unfortunately closed, probably due to the weather, but we had a fantastic visit to Timios Prodromos. This monastery, halfway up Mount Paluki, was founded in the 17th century and is absolutely stunning. The monk was very welcoming and allowed us to film and take pictures, including inside the church, which is not allowed at many monasteries. The church was very elaborately decorated with gold. My favourite part was the floor tiles, which are about 300 years old.
So we've just finished up at our first monastery. The very first one we went to was closed. It was amazing. The monks invited us in. They had cats and dogs running around the place. They offered us lollies. They were very kind. If you were coming to Skopelos and you wanted to get around and see the island, I highly recommend getting a car. It maximizes your time. It means you don't have to wait for the bus. I think they're quite infrequent. It's okay driving here. The roads are actually pretty good, better than on Skiathos, where we hired an ATV. Just remember, when driving in Europe, right is right if you're not used to driving on the right side of the road.
We hit a little traffic jam and continued on our way to find more beaches as the weather was clearing. Ricky of course needed a treat first. This waffle was delicious. The walk to our next beach was quite tricky. We had to walk for about 5 minutes along the rocks, with some of them being underwater and slippery.
It's slow coming.
We were rewarded with an entirely empty beach, which would be glorious to swim at on a more warm day.
So I've recently bought a bum bag. I'm still sitting on the fence with them, so tell me what you think. And if you think it's cool, is it best worn like this? Or like this?
Our last beach of the day was Panormos, a sheltered pebbly beach opposite a number of restaurants. We spent more than 3 hours here, where we rented sun lounges from Kraken Restaurant.
Dip it with your best rocks.
4 cocktails and dinner cost €55, and they included the lounges for free as it was off-peak season. The temperature eventually warmed up enough for us to brave the water for our last swim of Greece. We had more great cocktails back in town at Azores, overlooking the port area, and then called it a night. On our last morning, we had breakfast from this fancy bakery. We tried an iconic Greek sweet bougatsa, which is like a custard pie, and the best coffee of our entire trip. We also got some lunch to take with us on the ferry. Seeing the ferry come into the port was quite thrilling because it doesn't look like it's going to fit, but somehow it does. These massive trucks drove on, and then we were on our way to the mainland for our next destination. It was actually so enjoyable sitting out on the back deck. We ate our bakery lunch, had a few drinks, took in the peaceful views, and 4 short hours later we were at Volos, our base to visit Meteora. There's plenty more to come, so make sure to like and subscribe to keep an eye out for our next video, and scan the QR code to check out our Instagram page.